Hey guys, hope you're well. This week I've been writing and recording music to be used on TV, and one of the styles I needed to play was Americana, which is something I love doing. So in this video I thought I would play the piece that I wrote for you and then teach you the parts, because although it's not hard, there's a couple of interesting things for acoustic players and fingerstyle players in this one. So here we go. Okay, let's take a look at the A section slowly in a moment, and don't forget you can download the tab and the track from the link on the screen at the moment. Now this isn't a hard piece, there's actually only 4 chords within it, but there's a couple of things I'm doing to make it a little bit more interesting. The first thing is, when I'm going from the G to the D7, instead of going from a G major here to a D over here, I'm actually going from a G major to a D with the F sharp in the bass, so with the third of the chord in the bass, and that gives a really smooth movement on the bass from the G down to the D with the F sharp. So it's really cool for getting that smooth G to F sharp movement there. And the other thing I love doing in stuff like this is to use a technique called chord enrichment, which is basically when you take standard chord ideas but add some additional tones or different tones and textures to them, things like extensions, which are going to give your chord more colour. So in the case of this track, when I get to the E minor chord, instead of playing a straight E minor or E minor 7, I actually play an E minor chord with an F sharp and a D in it up here. So kind of an E minor 9 basically, but it gives you all that extra colour. There's a few variations you could do. You could put a D in the bass down here as well for that chord. Or you could even put an A on the top as well to make it an E minor 11. But it's a simple way of making a standard E minor that much more interesting. B section is more about keeping a consistent part moving using a steady fingerstyle rhythm and not much movement between the chords. So there isn't really a melody line that's moving around like there is in the A section. But there's still a couple of interesting things. Instead of playing a C major, I play a C sus2, which is always just a great alternative to a C major type sound. Here it is, as opposed to a C. And when I go from the C sus2 to the G, instead of going here up to here, I keep the bass line really smooth again just by going from a C to a G with the B in the bass, and then E minor, and then again that D with the F sharp in the bass. Just a really nice evocative way of playing through those chords without the usual standard chord shapes. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you find some useful information in there, and as ever, if you've got any questions or you'd like me to record on a project of yours, just get in touch with the email address that's on the screen now. I'll see you again next time. Take care.